Let's go to another video, but first subscribe and leave a like to strengthen the channel. Now, let's go.
You have been working for 5 years. Your salary has increased. You bought better things. But when you look at your bank account, you realize something frightening. You have less money today than you had when you earned half of what you earn now. How is that possible? The truth is brutal. Most people confuse making money with accumulating money. They are completely different things. You can have an excellent salary and die poor. You can earn little and become a millionaire. The difference lies in something no one taught you in school, something the rich know and the poor ignore. There is a financial metric that separates those who build wealth from those who merely survive. It is not salary. It is not how much you earn per month. It is your net worth. And if you have never calculated yours, you already started wrong. Net worth is simple. Add up everything you own, everything. Money in the bank, investments, real estate, vehicles, anything that has value. Now subtract all your debts. Credit cards, financing, loans, everything. The number that remains is your net worth. That is the only number that matters. Most people never do this calculation. They live thinking they are doing well because they pay their bills at the end of the month. But being at zero is not doing well. Being at zero is being one problem away from bankruptcy. A broken car, a layoff, a medical emergency, and everything collapses. Here is the shock. People who earn high salaries often have negative net worth. They owe more than they own. Meanwhile, people with modest incomes quietly accumulate fortunes. Why? Because they understand something fundamental about money. Accumulating wealth does not depend on luck. It does not depend on inheritance. It does not depend on winning the lottery or finding a magical opportunity. It depends on following tested, proven principles that work for anyone anywhere in the world. These principles boil down to 4 pillars. Just 4. But most people ignore at least 3 of them. The first mistake everyone makes is focusing only on earning more. They think, if I get that promotion, if I change jobs, if I start a business, then I will get rich. A lie. Earning more without understanding the other pillars will only leave you more indebted with a more expensive lifestyle. The second mistake is believing that investing is for rich people. That you need to have a lot of extra money to start. That the financial market is too complicated. That you will lose everything. These beliefs keep millions of people trapped in poverty forever. The third mistake is the quietest one, not tracking your own progress. You do not know how much you had 3 months ago. You do not know whether you are improving or getting worse. You live on financial autopilot, hoping that one day, magically, things will get better on their own. But there is a different path. A method that turns any ordinary person into someone who consistently accumulates wealth. It is not fast like winning the lottery, but it is infinitely more reliable. And it begins with a radical change in the way you see money. The 4 pillars you are about to learn are not theory. They are practical. They are applicable. And they work regardless of how much you earn today. They can work for those who earn little, for those who earn a lot, for those who are in debt, or for those who already have some savings. But there is one requirement. You need to be willing to question everything you believe about money. Because most likely, everything you were taught was wrong. The people around you, even with good intentions, passed on beliefs that destroy net worth. And you accepted those beliefs as truth. Now before we continue, if you are realizing that you have never thought about money this way, if you are beginning to understand that there is something fundamentally wrong with your relationship with finances, do one thing for me: subscribe to the channel, leave your like on this video, and write in the comments which city or country you are watching from. I want to know where the people who truly want to change their financial lives are. Let's move on to the 4 pillars. The first pillar is the most obvious, but also the most misunderstood: income. There are only 2 ways money enters your life: active income and passive income. The difference between them determines whether you will work until you die or whether you will have financial freedom. Active income is what you receive in exchange for your time. Salary, freelance work, consulting, anything that requires your presence or direct effort. You work, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops coming in. This is how most people live their entire lives. Passive income is different. It is money that comes in even when you are sleeping. Rent, stock dividends, royalties, investment interest. You build something once, and that something continues generating money repeatedly. The rich understand this. The poor think it is a fantasy. Here is the secret: you need both. You need to start with active income to build your base. But the ultimate goal is always to create sources of passive income. Because time is limited. You can work more hours, you can push yourself harder, but the day still has 24 hours. Passive income, on the other hand, has no limit. Now comes the part no one wants to hear: increasing your active income is your responsibility. Not the government's, not your boss's, not the economy's. Yours. If you earn little, you need to develop more valuable skills. Simple as that. The market pays for the value you deliver, not for your effort. But there is a huge problem here. A problem that destroys the net worth of millions of people every single day. You can increase your income and remain poor. In fact, many people become poorer when they earn more. It sounds absurd, but it happens constantly. This is where the second pillar comes in: saving. And no, saving is not that bank account that earns less than inflation. Saving is the habit of setting aside part of what you earn before you spend. It is the discipline of living below your means. It is the difference between those who build wealth and those who live paycheck to paycheck. The painful truth is this: it does not matter how much you earn if you spend it all. You can earn little and save a lot. You can earn a lot and save nothing. Wealth is not in what comes in, it is in what stays. And most people let everything slip through their fingers. Do you know someone who got a raise and moved to a better apartment? Changed cars? Started eating at more expensive restaurants? Bought brand-name clothes? That is exactly what keeps people trapped. Every increase in income is followed by an even bigger increase in expenses. It is an invisible trap. There is a devastating psychological phenomenon called lifestyle inflation. You earn more, you feel you deserve to live better, you increase your spending, and at the end of the month you still have no money. Worse, now you have bigger financial commitments. Higher rent, larger installments, fixed costs that imprison you. Saving is not optional. It is not something you do when there is money left over. There is never money left over. You need to save first, before paying any bills. Pay yourself first. This is the golden rule that separates those who accumulate wealth from those who work until they die. But how much should you save? Ideally, at least 20% of everything you earn. If that seems impossible right now, start with 10%. If 10% seems impossible, start with 5%. The important thing is to start. Because saving is not about the amount, it is about building the habit. Now comes the part that scares many people, the third pillar. Investments. The word most people avoid because they think it is complicated, risky, something for the rich. But let me be direct with you: if you do not invest, you will never have financial freedom. Never. It is mathematically impossible. Keeping money under the mattress does not work. Leaving it in a bank account does not work. Inflation silently erodes your purchasing power. Every month, your money is worth less. You need to make money work for you. And that only happens through investments. Here is the truth that would set you free if you accepted it: investing is not complicated. It is deliberately presented as complicated by people who profit from your ignorance. But the basic principles are simple. Anyone can learn. Anyone can start. And anyone can grow their net worth through it. But there is one fatal mistake you cannot make. The fatal mistake is investing without having an emergency fund. It is skipping saving and going straight into investments. It feels like you are speeding up the process, but in reality you are creating a financial time bomb. Because life happens. Emergencies arise. And if your money is locked in investments, you will be forced to withdraw at the worst possible moment, often at a loss. The correct order is unbreakable. First you save until you have a solid emergency fund. Only then do you invest. The emergency fund needs to cover at least 6 months of your expenses. Ideally, 1 year. This money must be accessible, liquid, ready to be used if something goes wrong. With the emergency fund in place, then you invest the rest. And this is where the real transformation happens. Because well-done investing generates compound interest. And compound interest is the most powerful force in the financial universe. It is your money generating more money, which generates even more money, continuing to grow exponentially. Let me show you the brutal difference. A person who saves 1,000 monetary units per month under the mattress, in 10 years has 120,000. A person who invests the same 1,000 units per month with an average annual return, in 10 years can have more than 200,000. Same discipline, completely different result. That is the difference between saving and investing. But most people do not invest. Do you know why? Fear. Fear of losing money. Fear of the unknown. Fear fueled by stories of people who lost everything. And yes, people do lose money investing. But they lose because they do it wrong. They invest in things they do not understand. They follow internet tips. They chase quick riches. Smart investing is not about getting rich fast. It is about consistent and sustainable growth. It is about diversification. It is about understanding where you are putting your money and why. Is it boring? Yes. Does it work? Absolutely. Now we reach the fourth pillar, the most neglected of all, lifestyle simplification. This pillar goes against everything society taught you. It goes against advertising. It goes against social media. It goes against consumer culture. But it is absolutely essential. Simplifying your lifestyle means consciously reducing your expenses. Not out of stinginess, not out of extreme sacrifice, but out of strategy. Every monetary unit you do not spend is a unit that can be invested. And remember compound interest. Reducing expenses does not affect only the current month, it affects the next 30 years. Look at the math. If you reduce your monthly expenses by 500 units and invest that difference, in 20 years this can turn into hundreds of thousands. You traded small, momentary pleasures for future financial freedom. It is an unfair trade because it is so good. But society programs you to do the opposite. They tell you that you deserve it. That you worked hard. That you need to treat yourself. That life is short. And occasional rewards are fine. The problem is when rewarding yourself becomes a habit. When you justify every expense as deserved. Simplifying does not mean living miserably. It means questioning every expense. Asking, does this really bring me value? Do I need this or do I just want it because I saw someone else having it? Does this expense bring me closer to or farther from financial freedom? These are difficult questions, but necessary ones. Many people earn well but live trapped because they chose an expensive lifestyle. A large apartment in a prime neighborhood. An imported car. Brand name clothes. Expensive restaurants. Luxury trips. All of this costs not only money, it costs freedom. Because now you cannot stop working. You cannot change jobs. You cannot take risks. You are trapped. Compare that with someone who earns the same amount but chose simplicity. Lives in a modest place. Has a functional car. Buys what is necessary. That person is accumulating net worth quickly. They are building options. They are buying future freedom with present discipline. The four pillars work together. You increase your income. You save a significant portion. You invest what you saved. You simplify your lifestyle to save even more. It is a virtuous cycle. Each pillar reinforces the others. And the result is accelerated growth of net worth. But how do you know if it is working? How do you measure progress? How do you ensure that you are on the right path? This is where the most powerful tool of all comes in, the 90-day rule. The 90-day rule is simple, but it will completely change your relationship with money. It works like this. Today, right now, you are going to calculate your net worth. Add up everything you own. Subtract everything you owe. Write that number down. It does not matter if it is positive or negative. It does not matter if it is large or small. Write it down. 90 days from now, you do the same calculation. You calculate your net worth again. And you compare it with the previous number. Did your net worth increase? Decrease? Stay the same? This is the only real thermometer of your financial health. Everything else is an illusion. Most people live without tracking this. They think they are doing well because they can pay their bills. But paying bills does not build wealth. You can pay bills your entire life and die with nothing. What builds wealth is seeing your net worth grow consistently, quarter after quarter, year after year. Every 90 days you repeat the process. And here is the magic. When you start measuring, you automatically start improving. Because now you have awareness. You know exactly where you stand. You know whether you are progressing or regressing. And that changes behavior. You will start questioning expenses. You will think twice before buying something unnecessary. You will look for ways to increase income. You will study investments. You will simplify your lifestyle. All because now you have a clear goal, to make that number grow over the next 90 days. In the beginning, progress may seem slow. It can be frustrating to see the number rise slowly while other people seem to get rich overnight. But remember, real wealth is built slowly. People who get rich fast usually lose everything even faster. You are building something solid, sustainable, permanent. After 1 year following the 90-day rule, you will have 4 measurements. You will be able to see the trend. You will better understand your financial patterns. You will know which months are more difficult, which expenses have the biggest impact, where you can improve. This is real financial control. After 3 years, you will look back and not believe the progress. The net worth that seemed to grow slowly will have turned into something significant. Compound interest will be working in your favor. Your sources of passive income will begin to appear. You will feel something most people never feel, real financial security. But there is a hard truth that needs to be said. This only works if you actually apply it. Knowledge without action is useless. You can watch 1,000 videos about finances, read 100 books, follow all the experts, and still remain poor. Because knowing changes nothing. Doing changes everything. Today, after this video, you have a choice. You can close it and go back to your normal life, where you work hard, earn your salary, spend everything, and repeat the cycle until you die. Or you can make the decision to change. You can calculate your net worth today. You can implement the 4 pillars. You can start the 90-day rule. The difference between those who build wealth and those who stay financially trapped is not luck. It is not intelligence. It is not where you came from. It is decision. It is discipline. It is consistency. The 4 pillars work for anyone who truly applies them. There are no exceptions. Growing income. Disciplined saving. Smart investing. Simplified lifestyle. Constant measurement through the 90-day rule. That is the formula. Simple, but not easy. Because it requires you to go against everything society taught you about money. It will require you to say no when everyone else says yes. It will require you to save while others spend. It will require you to invest while others are afraid. It will require you to simplify while others complicate. But in the end, while others are trapped in jobs they hate, you will have freedom. If this video changed the way you think about money, if you are committed to applying these principles, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and tell me in the comments which city or country you are watching from and which pillar you will implement first. Your journey to financial freedom starts now.